I'm going to tell you 3 habits that you need to quit this year. 3 habits. I'm not talking about procrastination and mind games, all of that. I'm talking about habits that will make you live longer, make you do better, make you get richer, of course, right? So I have watched hundreds of videos and I've observed how young people actually make a mess of their life while they think they still have a lot of time. Now, there are things that you actually do right now that you need to stop doing if you want to not just make money, but you want to live longer, and you want to live healthy, and you want to live fulfilled life, not a life where you start having issues in your 40s or in your 50s, or not a life where you are still broke and you're still poor, you're still trying to fight some sort of addiction and all of that, right? In your 40s and 50s. So these three habits actually cut across your life and everything else that I'm talking about. They cut across wealth, they cut across health, they cut across productivity, right? So if you really want to make progress, everybody wants to make progress. It's easy to say you want to make progress, but if you really want to do that, these things I'm asking you to do, or these things I'll be telling you in this video, are things that will take you very far. And of course, they're not actually very easy. They are doable, but they're not easy. It's like I'm asking you to do lots of things at the same time, although there are just 3 of them. But in these 3 habits that you need to quit doing, there are other things, there are sub habits that you must quit within these habits, right? So the first habit is gooning, or watching pornography, or staying hooked on masturbation. Now, masturbation is very different from gooning. Masturbation is where you actually get to ejaculate, while gooning is where you stop mid-ejaculation because you want to keep swimming in the loop. Now, this is something that will keep you stuck for a very long time, because the hours upon hours. Okay, if you have to calculate every hour that you spent gooning just this year alone, you realize that you've thrown weeks, if not even months away. You've thrown months of productivity, months of planning, months that could have been of very important use, or months that you could have put into something, into learning a skill for your better self, or to become a better person. You realize that you have actually spent a lot of time doing nothing this year, like you never actually existed, because that activity doesn't benefit anybody. It's actually very demonic, and it's crazy because it starts with your urge and that urge becomes strong enough that it becomes a desire. Now, once it's a desire, you do it the first time, you do it the second time, and you keep doing it, it becomes an habit. Somehow, something that had no impact on your mental system or your psych system, once you keep doing it for a very long time, it's actually going to impact how your brain looks and how your brain feels. You go online and search for the images of the normal brain, and someone is actually hooked on gooning or pornography. You see that there's a very huge difference, right? So these habits, they don't just shape your mind, they shape your life. And that's something that you really have to understand, because gooning affects how you see people. It affects how you see the opposite sex. Because now that you started gooning and you go through Instagram reels, you go online, you go on Pornhub and Xvideos and lots of these pornographic websites, right? You start seeing the opposite gender as an object, or a tool that you should objectify, or just a being for mere objectification. And that's not how life is supposed to feel like or to be like. One thing I recommend is detoxing your brain and trying to stop gooning. Well, you go online on YouTube and you see thousands, if not hundreds of videos about how to stop gooning, but they don't exactly tell you why you should stop it or how to stop it, right? The how, it's not by going to the gym. You can hit the gym and still goon. Gooning will continue whether you hit the gym or not. And ask yourself, if you have a gun pointed to your head for the next 365 days, and the verdict is, if you goon, you get shot in the head, would you goon? That's the Would you try to goon? The best guess is you would not. So you can only stop when you really want to stop. It's just like your ex-girlfriend who keeps coming to your house to use your resources and to love on you, and you just can't say no to her. That's exactly what gooning is. It's like this loop where you're always accepting this person into your space every single day, multiple times in a day, and you can't just say no to them. Now you have to man up and say no because it's high time you did. Nothing in this world will stop you from gooning if you have not stopped within. So it's because you don't want to stop yet. Even when you confess, there is that part of you that still wants to do it. And you know it's true. You know it's very true. So I'm not going to ask you to hit the gym or to pray. I mean, there are pastors, there are people, spiritual folks who actually indulge these desires every single time, thousands of times, right? It's not about praying. It's not about going to the gym or working yourself or reading some self-help book. It's also not about doing something else that's important. When you start doing something else that's important, you will also create a time to go on because it's something that you want to do. It's a desire that's now ingrained in your soul, in your heart, due to consistent practice. So I need you to actually say that you want to stop gooning. Tell yourself that this ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend is not going to come into my life anymore, and that will be it. The moment you say no more to this, it's only because you enjoy the thrill of it, you enjoy how it feels, you enjoy the moment. You know, there are actually dark forces when you do things like this. And if you're a spiritual kind, if you're the spiritual kind, I would recommend that you actually study the Word of God, because that alone can heal you. That can heal you. So when you tell yourself that you really want to stop doing this thing, and you are sincere with yourself, and you're also sincere with the Spirit of God, and you start reading the Word of God, you put these three things together and you get a result. That result is the appetite dying within you to do it. So when you go on Instagram, when you start seeing those demonic agents half naked on Instagram, twerking and doing lots of those things that you do online, it's not going to get to your soul because you've already marked it out and there is no appetite anymore. So now the second habit that you need to stop doing is actually living in your screens. And by that I mean spend the entire day binge watching YouTube or Instagram, social media in general, and doing nothing of your time. Now if you couple this with the first habit, if you fall into the category of the first habit and then you also do this, man, you've wasted so many weeks in this year alone. I don't want to talk about the previous years. I mean, this year alone, you've wasted so many weeks. And this is exactly how time flies, because you spend so much time doing nothing but watching other people online do things that you're supposed to be doing. So this is actually something that you need to stop doing. Not something that you need to, one of the habits that you must quit doing. You should be able to tell yourself, okay, now is productivity hour. I want to think about my life. I want to do this. I want to see exactly how I can make this work. I want to see exactly what I can do to make sure that this thing works, or what I can do to start a business or take my life forward to become a better version of myself. Just think and drop your phone for an hour or 2 hours. There are times where I don't just touch my phone and I leave them. I've actually gained mastery of this. When I say screen time is over, it's over. So to a very large extent, I think I've actually gotten or gained mastery of this habit, right? So when I tell myself I want to drop my phone for the next couple of hours, it's easy for me to just do that because I want to do it, because it's in me. I know I've developed this discipline in my heart to do exactly what I want to do. And if I'm doing something, even when I said I will not do it, it's only because I want to do it, not because I have said, or not because I can't control my emotions. I can't control myself to not do it. It's just something that you will get to a point where you're able to say things and live by your word. If you really want to be productive, I'm very sure that those times that you spend online, right? The hours, the days, the weeks that you spend online doing nothing but watch content and consume a lot of toxic content on the internet, you can channel that time, the efforts and everything else into something a bit more productive. I'm not asking you to develop a software to become the next Mark Zuckerberg. No, I'm saying just do something that will get you to become a better version of yourself every single day, instead of binge watching Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is that you watch. So now this third habit has to do with killing your body, right? I mean, killing your body, I'm not talking about stabbing yourself or shooting yourself in the head. I'm talking about actually killing your body. And the first point I really want to talk about is drugs and smokes, right? Those things, they take you out faster than you realize it. Especially drugs. It's made thousands of people homeless in the US alone. And around the world, it has made millions of people purposeless. So drugs, I don't get why people take drugs or why you should take drugs. I'm not judging, but it's something that has no meaning to your life. If you think about it from the broader perspective, taking drugs does no good to anyone. It ruins more than it builds, right? And it's the reason why you need to seek help. It's not easy to just stop taking drugs. In fact, in some cases, drug addiction can be more severe than porn addiction. Scientifically proven. It's got more effect on the brain. It has a heavier weight of a setback when talking about development of your mental or your cognitive capacities. Now, the way it impacts your brain is different from the way porn impacts your brain or the way gooning impacts you. That's a very different stuff. When you talk about drugs and taking drugs, it's actually crazy. It can make someone, I don't want to say make you, right? It won't make you purposeless. It can make someone very, very purposeless and can destabilize the life path of anybody or someone who becomes addicted to it. People sell their houses to take drugs, and it's just very terrible. That's the reason why we have organizations right now who are actually into helping addicts, to find their place again in the world, and helping those who are falling so low to the point where they are now homeless, helping them get back into society. If you can still say no to drug addiction, now is the time to say no, because you are not just ruining your mind, you're also killing your body. I mean, it's very easy for you to contract one of these terminal diseases from drugs, from meth, from excessive use of these things, tobacco and marijuana, and lots of these things, right? So if you really want to be healthy and you want to live long, quit drugs. And I mean, I really feel bad for people who become so addicted to the point where they start fighting demons, their own demons, like in broad daylight. I've watched the videos like that where you just start fighting, like, and you can't see whatever they're fighting. The second point under this third habit is not killing anything, quitting beers and sugars. I understand how on Fridays it's normal for you to take 10 beers. I'm guilty here because I actually consume a lot of sugary content. Even when I said I want to stop, I had the grit to stop, but I thought about it after a week. I was like, well, just one more. That's exactly how I feel back into it so deep. But the thing is, I'm actually trying to come out of it. It's soft drinks. It's what do you call it now? It's soda, right? So it's also one of the many things that I think you should stop doing, because I've seen videos online. These things are very, very dangerous to your health, and in the long run, they can really impact you in ways that you cannot recover from. And so the third point is actually quitting junk foods. It pays so much to eat healthy, like protein, fish, meat, but avoid a lot of carbs, right? But eat healthy, because that's going to take you very fast. So after you've built your empire and you're now enjoying lots of money, you don't want to be struck down by some terminal disease because you were careless with your diet years ago, right? So it's something that you need to, now you're trying to really make it big, and you're trying to secure your 401k, and you're trying to build your life, your investment, your savings. You want to live a healthy life later on, right? And so these are the things that everything I just talked about now all wraps up. They will actually, if you're able to quit these things before you hit 30, or if you're in your 30s before you hit 40, they really help you in the long run. So with everything being said, guys, This is my channel. I don't know exactly what to name this channel. I've changed the name multiple times, but it's still my channel. And if you're new here, I'd like you to click on that subscription button and tell me exactly what you think about this content in the comment section. And I will see you in my very next video.